We know what could go wrong when you leave an 8-year-old all by themselves based on the classic movie Home Alone. Now the debate is about a parenting style that actually promotes this. Free-range parenting is when young kids are presented with the early opportunities to become more independent by taking public transportation or staying at home all by themselves. So DBL Nation, at what age can children be left home alone?
Okay, Tom from Facebook says there should be a law that kids should be at least 13 years old before you can leave them home alone. Tom, I got to tell you, I was at that house alone for way before that. I had an older sister, and we were just hanging out. And my mom would tell the neighbors she was running to the store or whatever she was doing, and the neighbors, if they heard one thing wrong or saw one thing that didn't look good, came to that door, knocked on there, and said, "What are y'all doing? I will tell your mother." And that's how we behaved. The community raised us as well as my mom.
Yeah, different times for sure. Rachel from Facebook says, depends on the child, and it's no one's business unless the kid is younger than 7 years old. Rachel, writing the law. Doesn't stand on my business unless it's 7. I think a lot of factors go into this. What child you are. If you're the first child, it's going to be a lot later. If you're the last child like me, I was running the roost at 5. But I think a lot goes on to it, especially now with in-house cameras. I'd be a little more apt to let my kids do their own thing. But I think it depends on their maturity level and a lot of different aspects.
That's a good point. All right. Kathy from Twitter says it should be illegal and considered child abuse to leave your 7-year-old at home. No kid is mature enough at that age. Yeah, 7 is a little young, but you know, I think it goes back to what Jess said. It's all about where your kid is on the maturation scale. I don't think that I think I would have been fine at home just because I was too naive to have done anything. But now I worry because Lindsay, you were talking about, you know, if somebody heard somebody yell, then they would call it. I think it's worse than that now because there's the internet, so your kids are exposed to more nefarious things that are quiet, less than like a window breaking, and more of just like somebody slowly kind of grooming your kid over the course of months. You know, having a couple hours to talk to your kid unobstructed.
Good point. Well, Susan from Facebook says no child should be left alone until they are teenagers. It's scary to think what could happen to younger kids left alone.
Yeah, let's leave teenagers home alone.
Yeah. For the first time. Yeah, I agree with Al that the threat really is coming from a place that probably isn't even in the vicinity of where your child is. But I grew up very differently because Big Mama was always there if my parents weren't there. So I got away with nothing, and I wasn't left alone until I had my own home. So that's how it goes sometimes.
That's real.
Hey, overbearing.
I feel like in New York, well, I was like also taking the train at like 15, going to the city. Like, it's just because my dad worked on trains, so it was like, I don't know, I guess it was a different lifestyle back then. But I said I would never let my kids do some of the things that I was.
And you turned out fine.
So it's a different world.